Welcome back to another episode of Oldson's Speed Shop. Got our little helper Ellie here today. She's always a great helper in the shop. Thought I would do an update on the Camaro. Things are progressing slowly but surely. As you can tell, we've got brakes tore apart all the way around. We're waiting on some parts to show up so we can finish that. Decided to redo all of the brakes. New pads, new hardware, new master cylinders, new wheel cylinders, new master cylinder, new power booster, all new rubber brake lines. Everything will be new there. Here's a bunch of parts that we got off it right now. And here's some of the shipments we've had for it. So we're getting some parts in. We're still waiting on a few things. One thing we have accomplished, the fuel tank cleaned, back installed. It's installed back in. Probably can't see that, but it's in. We've got all new rubber fuel line in it, and we're ready to go there. So the fuel system's good. We're waiting on one fuel pump to come, the mechanical one on the engine, and we'll swap that out, put new rubber lines up front on it, and the fuel system's good. I got the carburetor right here. It has been rebuilt. It's ready to rock and roll. So, I had a local guy in town that knows quadrajets like the back of his hand, and had him rebuild it. It's ready to go. It's ready to rock and roll. So, waiting on not waiting on anything for the fuel system. So, let's go around to the front and I'll show you what's happening here. So, here is the engine. As you can tell, valve covers are off, intake manifold's off. I'm gonna get a new fuel pump, swap that out. The cooling system on this was pretty rough. The radiator right now is in the shop getting re-cored. I found a shop local that will re-core it, and they'll do a good job with it. I think you guys remember me talking last time about let's show you. So I pulled the water outlet off the thermostat housing, and this stuff was in it. Now, at the time, I'd assumed that it was some sort of stop leak. This was all built up on top of the thermostat in the housing, filling the housing up. I talked to the radiator shop, told him what I found, asked him, is that some kind of stop leak? And he looked at it and he's like, wow, that's weird. He says, is it sand or is it really smooth? And I said, well, it's thick like sand, but look here. So there you got it. But the minute you barely rub it, it just turns smooth. He said, if it's really smooth, the antifreeze does that when it dries out. It'll end up like this, but it'll be like flour, and when you rub that, it turns into like flour. So that's just antifreeze that is old, and the liquid is evaporated out of it, and this is I don't know if you'd call it silicates or what, but that's what's left over from it. So, let me show you the intake. So I've got the intake down here, and I pulled this off, one, to clean it up, of course. This engine was quite a greasy mess, which was surprising. But look inside here. So you can see the corrosion. You can see right there, there's actually a hole that's starting. So, needless to say, we've got a new one of these. Here's where it was all built up on the thermostat. Got a new thermostat, of course, coming. Inside the manifold itself, it's not horrible, but I'll clean that out really good. I'll actually take it to my real job, and we have ultrasonic tanks, so I'll throw it in there. We'll ultrasonic, all the inside passages will get cleaned out, clean this up. Now what I don't want to do is take off all the paint. This is a Survivor car, so I'm going to try to keep all the original paint on that I can. So I kind of want to keep all this original orange paint, just clean it up. Same with the engine. All this, I've scraped a lot of grease off here, and what we're going to do is just clean it up. I'll clean up the rest of the grease with some alcohol and a nylon brush, and we'll have that looking good. But I'm not planning on painting it. I think it will do it will kind of dishonor the car if I painted it and made everything nice and new and pretty underneath the hood. With this being such a great Survivor car, I think it'll do a disservice. Let me tell you about some of the things we're doing on the engine. If you look down in here, it looks really good. I mean really good. The owner obviously kept up. I mean, look at these heads. The owner obviously kept up on his oil changes, and I would say probably religiously. There is no sludge in that at all. Obviously the seals weren't the greatest back then. That's why it was greasy on the outside, but look at this on the inside. Beautiful. I mean, absolutely beautiful. I can't believe it. So, hey, you're on YouTube. Neighbor come by. But so we got the engine coming apart right now. It will be going together as soon as it's cleaned up. Pulled the intake manifold off to clean it up, but also to reseal it. We're going to take care of all this leaks. One thing that Chevy is known for is their timing gears on the small block Chevys and the big block Chevys. They put nylon on the teeth of them all. When I pull it off, I'll show you guys on the video, but you pull it off, they put nylon teeth to make it quiet. That nylon gets brittle and breaks. So it probably wouldn't need a timing chain replacement if it had a regular steel timing chain and timing gears. But because it's original, I'm going to change it just to be safe. And that'll give me a time to clean up here. We're going to pull the oil pan off. We're going to reseal the oil pan. So hopefully this thing is completely leak free and taken care of. So there goes some wrenches. Anyways, that's the latest on the Camaro. It seems to be slow but sure, but we are making progress, and we are waiting on the radiator, which will be back this week, and we're waiting on a few more parts. We've got the fuel pump coming, the timing set, and a few other things that we're going to need. And you can see here's the plugs out of it. They don't look too bad. This is 2, 4, 6, and 8 side, and over here is 1, 3, 5, and 7. And they're not bad. They definitely are worn. They couldn't, obviously are going to be changed, but they're not bad. So we've got a new master cylinder, brake booster coming. We'll have all new hoses, So hopefully this thing will be fired up. I'm gonna say 2 weeks. Hopefully 2 weeks. 4th of July is coming up, so I may not get out on it next Saturday. The only other thing that I don't have that may need to be, I may need to, is the heater core. I'm gonna pressure test this and see. It's sat a long time, so I'll clean it out. But we don't want to leak inside there. So if that leaks, we'll change it out. Otherwise, we might run it. We got all new heater hoses, radiator hoses, fuel line, so brake lines. It should be good to go. So that's where we're at, and hopefully we'll have it done and back to the owner, and he can cruise it through the summer. So thanks for watching. It's a little bit stormy here today, but tune in next time. Thanks.